change, but why was I the only one that really cared? Is it me, or there's somebody else who you've been waiting? I never see a smile like that before. Our love is broken, there's nothing left to pick up but the memories I had with you. Why'd you go and make me regret everything? I never wanted this to end. Now I messed up without thinking. Things don't always come out like you want them to. Push away all that you hate, but it's the worst thing you can do. I'm hurting, can't you see, from all the things you do? I'm drowning in misery, we never got to say goodbye. Oh, you don't really know how much you made me cry. You really are the worst, but I can never forget you. Why'd you go and make me regret everything? I never wanted this to end. Now I've messed up without thinking. Things don't always come out like you want them to. Push away all that you hate, but it's the worst thing you can do. It's the worst thing, it's the worst. She held out a hand, sung his golden tan. Por favor, come dance. Swept me off my feet, moving like a melody, Spanish masterpiece. The way she shook her hips, sangria on her lips, one taste just ain't enough. The way she got near, whispered in my ear, my blood started to rush. Took me by surprise when I looked in her eyes, and she said, I love you for the night. I love you for the night. Esperanza, baby. Be my señorita. Esperanza, baby. Be my señorita.
Testing, 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 testing. 1, 2, 3. What's up, everybody? We're on YouTube. On YouTube. Can you believe it? Can you hear me now? Let me turn off this trash music. I know Big Kev loves this stuff. There's Jessica, Voodoo Darling. Hello, hello. Lady Danish, hello. Zoomer, I don't know if you've seen this yet. We're going to talk spoilers, man. Download the Signal app. Oh my gosh, he's still trying to spread the Signal app. ATC and other things. Yeah, I just want to talk Obi-Wan. I was tired of sitting around doing nothing and waiting on House of the Dragon stuff and whatever and videos because there's just no content right now. And I wanted to talk about Obi-Wan, episode 5. The series has a lot of issues, and a lot of people hate it. Some people love it. Some people are somewhere in between. But episode 5, I think, changed a lot of things. So we'll see. Lady Dan, super casual fan, enjoyed the episode, had fun. Yeah, this was by far the best. I think this will be the most well received. Val and James back together. We need the crew. Yeah. Well, I mean, James, we did the podcast forever, and he's on a different schedule, and I don't really know if he wants to do it anymore. I don't know. We're trying to figure that out. But Boiling Water, hello. How are you? Anyone still mad about GOT ending? Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, I can't get over it. I may actually talk about the first 4 seasons or something as we wait for House of the Dragon, because that's been my problem here on YouTube. Is there's no content. And every time I used to do Mandalorian and Star Wars stuff, it don't do anything, but whatever. It doesn't. Who cares, right? Who cares? If I want to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. Excuse me. The Second Amendment wasn't a suggestion, correct? Best episode of the series, I think, for casual fans. It gives Vader a more human feel and insight to him improving as a Force user. I agree, man. It showed him really becoming. I think that's what a lot of people were complaining about, is they think he's supposed to already be like full-fledged, badass, darker Vader. And Obi-Wan's already supposed to be the wise old hermit Jedi dude, and that's just not true. I mean, did they make some mistakes in the series? Absolutely, but it's not nearly as bad as people were making it out to be. And you have this thing now where, that's right. Spoiler warning. We better say that before, like Mizuma. Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader. By the way, so just in case you didn't know that, Jessica may have not known that though. Jessica's supposed to watch. She's supposed to start a YouTube channel and watch these shows and movies and react to them. So. Lo Horton, how are you? There she is. Lo, working hard. I see on Instagram. Very good, Lo. Good for you. I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm trying, not working, but I'm trying. Diane Harris, hello. Can't stay very long. Tired from this heat. Well, we're all tired from the heat. I've been tired all day and feel like crap, but oh well. I wanted to talk about Diane. Everybody wants me to stream, so we're streaming. Ian, how you doing? How's the book sales been compared to any expectation I've had as a first timer? Congrats on it again. Thank you, man. They were great at first. Now they're non-existent, and I really didn't. I expected to sell a handful a month, but now that I've got more and more reviews, which is supposed to be a good thing. Sorry, my daughter's texting me here. I'm just telling her I'm streaming. Quit bugging me. Sorry about that. What was I saying? I have no idea. I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, the book. But yeah, so, I think we're up to 86 reviews. It's still like at a 4.8, out of 5 stars, which is outstanding. But it's not selling anything now. It's like, and right now it's actually 70% off on Amazon. I actually posted that in the link there, in the pinned comment up there. I believe it's showing. So yeah, I'm a little surprised by that, Ian, honestly. I thought it would start taking off a little bit more. I'm not saying like blow up or something. I don't mean that, obviously. But I did think it would do better monthly. But right now, I've actually had a bunch of returns, which means that some bookstore somewhere, a couple bookstores returned some boxes, and I've had to pay for that. So I actually got a bill last time. Can you believe that? Right. You write a book. It does pretty good on the pre-sales and the pre-orders and all that stuff. And then it was in some bookstores for sure. I had people sending me pictures and messages and stuff, and that was really cool. And then, but if they return any, you have to pay for that printing cost anyway. So I actually got a bill last time. So I've lost thousands on this book. So anyway, what's up, Doc Holiday? I was wondering if you're gonna show up. Cause Doc is, I know Doc, you're watching this. You're welcome, Lolo. Somebody grab that naked bot. Thank you, Doc. Thank you. We got a band already, a bot in here. But yeah, I want to talk about it because this episode was really, really, really changed the tone for me. A lot of people, thank you, Nata. There's Nata. Look at there. Nata will have no idea what we're talking about here. Yeah, look, it's like we're still big enough to have bots. You know what I'm saying? With 20 people. Thank you, Nata and Doc, for grabbing those. But yeah, so I've been watching a lot of reviews on it because the first, 3-4 episodes really, it was questionable how they were doing things. Was it about Obi-Wan? Was it about Reva? And by the way, we're going into spoilers. Just if you hadn't seen it, I hope you know what the hell I'm talking about. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself and a handful of people. Yeah, Diana, it feels good to be on here. I want to start doing this again, as far as streaming goes and all that. Honestly, I don't love editing videos anymore, and I'd rather just talk live, but you can't really do that, I guess, unless I make it a completely live channel. But if we get more stuff to do with House of the Dragon and Lord of the Rings is going to be questionable. I think it's going to be complete trash, honestly, and that really pisses me off, but we'll see. I want to talk about it, but we'll see what happens. But I want to get back into YouTube and stuff and have content, but there's just no content. So that's why I'm just like, fuck it. We're going to talk about I'll watch Obi-Wan. I'll watch anything Star Wars. We did Mandalorian before. We'll talk Ahsoka when it comes out, so to hell with it. I'm going to do what I want. It'll kill the channel even worse, but I don't care. Vader going ham was awesome. Yes, so... Exactly. We'll get to that, Doc. We'll get to that. But I just want to say, I understand criticism. There's legitimate criticism, and then there's just like this kind of outrage culture that's kind of the antithesis to the woke culture. And I wanted to talk about that because if y'all saw the last video I did on Obi-Wan, I just did a video last week. My thoughts on the first 3 episodes or whatever it was before this one came out. You have legitimate criticism. You can criticize, acting. You can criticize writing, directing, all that kind of stuff. But then you have this kind of, and I totally agree with a lot of these big channels about inserting modern day politics, political stuff into today's shows and all that kind of stuff. And I hate all that stuff just as much as they do. But there's also a point where now they start to see wokeness in everything, and I think it's bullshit. I don't think this show did they go a different direction than expected? Yes. Are they breaking canon still? Possibly. We'll see how they fix it, but we'll get into all that. So I just think that there's still some good to it, and this episode kind of proved it and kind of went back to I think what people expected in episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. The Dark Father. Did we say? Are you calling Darth Vader Anakin Skywalker, the Dark Father? Jessica? Oh, my Lord. Had almighty. A-Team, hello. Glad to see you pop up. Hope all is well. Doing good, man. Glad to see you here. I was wondering if it might get notified. It don't look like they will, but oh well. Anyway, so I just wanted to chat about, because I think this kind of changed... I think it changed the series. It got back to kind of the core idea of what it's supposed to be. And I think a lot of people will think this will receive this well compared to the first couple, at least. Still got some things to see. They have to have another meeting, obviously. All that good stuff. We got to see more. We kind of confirmed Reva's backstory, that she was a Padawan in, a youngling during Order 66 in the Jedi Temple. So that was cool. I actually liked her a lot better this episode than I have previously, because they humanized her more and kind of explained her backstory, and you kind of saw her pain. It's really similar to, and then Obi-Wan is obviously getting his groove back a little bit, so that was a slow build. I don't know why people expected, us to start off and Obi-Wan just be completely badass the whole time and be staying on Tatooine, watching Luke through binoculars the whole time. Like, what do you really want to see that too? No, you don't want to see that. He's got to leave the planet. And the people that are complaining about those things obviously have not read the comics or Dark Lord, any of that stuff. Vader didn't instantly become like Anakin to Vader. Now he's all of a sudden this evil machine. He's conflicted the entire time. Now he grows more and more Vader and less Anakin over time, but there's still that little piece of Anakin in there, and I think that's what people are misinterpreting a lot in some of this ridicule of the show. But some of it, again, is warranted. And it's the same for Obi-Wan. He's been essentially cut off from the Force for 10 years. It's like riding a bike. You don't forget, but it takes practice. It's not something you just cut off and on. And So they did have a lot of weird things in the first few episodes, for sure. I agree with a lot of that criticism. It was not what I expected. I didn't expect Leia. I think Leia's fine, but they have to fix that. They did fix the Grand Inquisitor thing. He's still alive because he doesn't die till Rebels, so we kind of knew he'd still be alive. He has 2 stomachs anyway for that species. For anybody who doesn't know, fun fact, I believe that's the case. And anyway, so the Leia thing probably shouldn't be the main storyline, but I don't have a problem with the way they used it to get him off the planet and kind of get back into the swing of things, because Jessica Darkmouth, oh my Lord. Because, people thought, oh, it's going to be all about Leia, and it's not about Luke. Well, it was never going to be about Luke either. It's about Obi-Wan and Anakin. That's what it's about. So I don't have a problem with these side stories that work for the Inquisitors. The Inquisitors were a huge part of, Clone Wars era and all that kind of stuff, or post-Clone Wars era. And I don't have a problem with them having a backstory. I don't like aspects of the show. I didn't like the Grand Inquisitor. He doesn't look right to me at all. He doesn't really act right to me because he didn't watch, apparently the actor did not watch Rebels. He was a Jedi Temple guard. So they all have backstories. So I never understood all this about, we can't have backstories, or we can't show Reva, the third sister, and all this kind of stuff. And how did Obi-Wan sneak in Fortress Inquisitorius and all this stuff? Well, you forgot the game where Cal Kestis did it. So it's already been done. And so the actual problem is they're repeating a lot of stuff that's already out there in comics and video games that are all canon. And so you have a lot of these Star Wars experts on YouTube complaining about things that they really don't know themselves, honestly. And that's fine, whatever. You can think what you want. Everybody can have their own opinion. So, they use German for names a lot. Yes. Let's see. Second Amendment. Reva versus Obi will be the final fight, so he can save Luke. Yeah, I think Reva would, obviously she found out about it. I don't know if that'll be the final fight as much as she will decide to not hurt Luke or whatever. I think we still have to have Vader and Anakin meet up, whether it's a fight or a conversation or both. Because if you remember Return of the Jedi, Luke turns himself in, right? And he's taken him to the Emperor, hands him his lightsaber, and he says, "Come with me. I know there's still good in you, blah, blah, blah." And Vader was like, "Obi-Wan once thought as you did." So they have to have that conversation to set up a New Hope now. The other big thing that I have a problem with is the Leia thing. Now, whether he mind wipes her or something, that could still happen to make it easier on her to whatever. But Leia should not know Obi-Wan personally. She should know of him. That's what the line implies. You can do some mental gymnastics and stretch in New Hope or whatever, but not really. So they have to fix that some way. Randy Suimatsu, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, Chris, you know Canon, I know BB gun. Right. What's up, Randy? How you doing, man? Been a while. There's Lord Kev. Big Lord Kev. What's up, man? I don't even know if alerts. Hold on. Are these alerts on here? Let me test this. I'm going to do a test. Okay, no, it is working. Okay, sorry. I did not test really anything before I went live here, make sure, except for my microphone. A-Team, they don't. I mean, I'll give you an example, and this is not to call it anybody. I'm just going to give you an example because I watched Anna's video today, that Star Wars girl, and I generally like her content. I like, for the most part, kind of that whole crew, because I'm very anti The Last Jedi stuff too. But Anna was it's every single thing. Like she was saying, you had the opening scene with Anakin and Obi-Wan. Now, granted, the de-aging did not look good like it did in Mandalorian, so I don't know why they're not using that technology that they obviously have, or maybe they just I don't know. But it was a great scene, and it was like they didn't even get the skyline right. Well, what do you mean? The Coruscant, the entire planet, is a city. It's not all buildings everywhere where there's skyscrapers everywhere. If you get further away from the Jedi Temple and you get further away from the Senate, it's more flat stuff with occasional high rises, Kind of like you saw in Clone Wars when Dooku met up with Sidious. Nobody said that was a Jedi temple. They were just training somewhere. It didn't have so. Like, what are you talking about the skyline for? You know, there was that, and it was like the last video. It was like, well, Vader was on Inquisitor, so he would have known. He would have known that Obi-Wan was there. No, he wasn't. He wasn't there. He was on Mustafar. It was just in the same system. He wasn't there. He came later. So they're just getting stuff wrong, and I don't know. It's clear that they've never read any of the comics that are canon. They never read Dark Lord, which is technically considered Legends now, but they can pull a lot from that. That's one of the best books out there. Anakin is going through the process of getting used to the suit, and he hates it, and he has to change his fighting style because he can't move in it. He learns to throw his lightsaber like we saw in this episode when he fought Reva, which I thought was outstanding. So there's a lot of stuff out there they seem to be forgetting. I've forgotten a lot more Star Wars stuff than probably half of these people know. But I'm just saying as an example. It's not to call out anybody or whatever. Everybody can have their opinion. Some people are just going to hate anything Disney, and that's fine. That's fine too. But you got to remember, Disney did a lot of great stuff too. You love The Mandalorian, most of us. Boba Fett, it got better when it was really about him. I think everybody loved Rogue One. I think that most people, when they finally saw it, like it took me a while to watch Solo, was pretty good. So they've done some great things. The only thing they've really ever completely destroyed was the sequels. And I agree with every bit of criticism, especially on The Last Jedi, but I don't even count those in my head. But nevertheless, anyway, it was good to see them kind of return to the roots. Jake from State Farm, hello. What's up, man? How you doing? It was okay, Randy, but if you remember, it just didn't look right on Hayden. I thought Obi-Wan looked fine. But if you remember, obviously, Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian, yeah. When he goes back to see Luke and all, they had really perfected it from season 1, and it looked really good when he's there with Ahsoka looking for Baby Yoda, Grogu, or whatever. So I thought Anakin looked a little off. He looked a little, obviously, older. But, I'm not going to nitpick all that stuff. It's fine. I was happy to get the flashback. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not going to sit there and like, oh, shit, he looks too old. I mean, obviously, this is before the Clone Wars. He still had his arm, all that good stuff. So it's fine. It's fine with what it is. I'm not going to nitpick. I'm just saying it has. I'm just saying, like, if you can do it on, if this is like Obi-Wan, right? This is Obi-Wan and Anakin / Vader. It should be the whole team, every bit of money they have, making sure this is, because you watch The Mandalorian, you think it's a movie. It's movie quality. This has not been completely. Some things look great, some things not so much. But anyway, that's just nitpicky stuff. A-Team, I was glad to see Hayden and not a younger body double with no emotional. Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Yeah, you can't use another actor or whatever. So it's like I'm fine with it. I'm just pointing out small things like that. It's like I'm just saying, like, they could have done a little better like they did with Luke, but then people are complaining about the background. They don't know Star Wars because the background of Coruscant didn't look right. Well, you don't know where they are. Who said they were in the Jedi Temple? And what angle is it? Which side of the temple? I mean, yeah, it didn't look the same as it would in the prequels, but they never showed that little area before. So why are we talking about buildings in the background? That makes no sense to me. Chief Cook, hello, welcome. And Obi-Wan series, someone did hear Vader theme music. Are you asking if I heard Vader? I don't remember, honestly. I think we've heard Vader theme music, but I don't remember, honestly. No, they didn't use this theme. Says, okay. Oh, Lord Kev says they didn't. I wasn't really paying attention. I know people have complained about the music, but this episode I didn't really think about the music, so I wasn't paying attention. Vader doesn't make it for how crappy this show is. Well, why do you think that, Jake? What in specifically are you talking about? Like the Reva stuff? I mean, because I agree, the first few were like not what I expected at all. Believe me, I get that. Why is this on top chat? I'm sorry. There we go. Okay. All right. So I don't know why is that not showing right. Okay. All right, now I'm scrolling back to see if I missed anything because it was on top chat instead of live chat. I don't know why it defaults to that. I'm sorry if I missed anybody's thing. Please ask your question again. I posted this on Patreon too. I doubt anybody saw it. I don't think anybody sees anything on there anymore. If anybody has any Patreon questions, it is up there. It's showing a weird. That's odd. Okay, not showing the thumbnail. But yeah, let's talk about this episode, Jake. Doc keeps asking me how to extend his lightsaber. It's a feeling. It's just it's a feeling you get. It's like when you walk into a dark room and you turn a light on. That's the feeling you need to turn your lightsaber on, Mazuma, or Doc if he's wanting to know. Randy, Vader pulling the ship down was a little much, I thought. Actually, that came straight from the game where his apprentice, old school game, pulled a Star Destroyer down. So that's where they got that shot from. If you remember the game, what is the game series? Not where he had a secret apprentice that wasn't, I mean, as Vader, not Ahsoka, as Anakin. He pulled down a The Force Unleashed was the game. I played both of them. They're outstanding games. And let's see. He was a clone. Starkiller was the clone that he used for his dark side apprentice, and he was able to pull an entire Star Destroyer down. So those are outstanding games. I wish they would do. I wish we'd see him at some point on some TV show live, because he was really, really powerful. You know, it kind of goes to where they're experimenting on all these Jedi they capture, they're dead and whatever. And Plagueis did it all the way through Palpatine, and obviously that led to the stupid sequels where Palpatine somehow survives and uses Snoke as experiments, whatever all that crap was. Anyway, I thought it was great, Randy, that they showed how powerful he was. The best part to me, though, was the Reva fight, because if they would have made Reva even close to coming in contact with Vader in some way, I would have been pissed. He just toyed with her. Didn't even pull out his lightsaber. He just it was just playing with her. She couldn't get close to him. It was just, you know, that's the way it should be. So people see that and still complain that Reva's OP or whatever. It's like, come on, man. So that was great, and then took her saber from her, split it in half, and tossed her to the other side so they could actually have a duel. And he toyed with her the whole time. That shows how powerful he is, and it's better than the stereotypical force choke all the time. So it was cool. So I didn't think it was. I thought it was good, Randy, to at least start to show how powerful he becomes. Of course, it was kind of a cheesy thing where they had that ship going up with what? I mean, was it, did it have a pilot in it? Was it on autopilot? He rips down the wrong ship, rips it open, and then they take off really quick, and he can't grab that one. But it goes back to, and he always just stares at him. You know, he's always done that. And he just stares off into space thinking, but he's still conflicted. So does he really want to catch him is the question. I think that's part of it, too. People were complaining about the fire scene, and I thought it was kind of dumb. I mean, it was a great fire scene, what he did, but then when the fire, he just kind of got rescued by the droid when, Tyene Sand fucking shot the fire and made it explode again. They just stood there. But I always took that as he's still conflicted. Like, he don't really want to catch him because he might have to kill him, and he don't want to kill him because he's still some Anakin in there. So that's the way I that's the way I took most of that anyway. Let's see. Duke Silver, the Emperor being alive was ridiculous. Yeah, Duke. That was and welcome, by the way. That was the horrible attempt of JJ trying to save anything they possibly could from the disaster that was The Last Jedi. That was all that was. They had to bring the nostalgia back all of a sudden. Remember when Lucas sold Lucasfilm to Disney, they threw away his outlines for 7, 8, and 9, which is to have Darth Maul and Darth Talon as the main big baddies, as it should have been. But they threw that away. Don't even get me started on a sequel rant. They don't count to me, whatever. Weaponized Autism, thank you for the super chat, man. I really appreciate it. Vader seems a bit off. I was hoping to get a little bit of Vader from Vader Down. I'm surrounded by fear and dead men, Lord Vader. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's I think he's okay. I think there, as much as you can film and get the feeling of somebody, it's almost like Mandalorian, where Pedro Pascal was talking about taking the helmet off, and it's like you can really only get certain angles to film and get a feeling from somebody in a mask. I think he's doing okay. I think he definitely watched old David Prowse and stuff like that for sure. And again, you got to remember too, it's not always Hayden in that suit. Most of the shots are actually not him, just only a handful of close-ups, but not the full body shots because he don't have the height. So I think he's okay. I mean, because it fits to me with Dark Lord is what I'm saying. So if you read Dark Lord, I have the book over here somewhere. Again, it's not canon, but it's kind of still is because nothing's replaced it. He's still going through the whole. It's a lot of pain that he is in forever until Return of the Jedi, obviously. So I think it's okay. Let's see. JR, hello. JR, how are you doing? Ahsoka almost put off a shuttle down with Maul in it. That's true. That's what I mean, JR. There's a lot of people. And again, you can believe me. All criticism is fair as far as shows or whatever. That's totally fine. But I'm just saying, I've just seen a lot, which is kind of why I want to do the last video I did and talk about this on the live stream, is there's a lot of, saying this was stupid, but it actually already happened in the comics or a book or whatever it may be, something that's canon, or even if it was Legends. And they forget about that part. They don't know about it in the first place. Like, obviously, another big thing. I see a couple more questions. Sorry, I'm trying to spit all this out. But I saw, people complaining how Obi-Wan found out, right, from Reva, the third sister, that Anakin was still alive. And I knew they would explain that in a certain way, and I think they did. I think it works fine as long as she heard the words Lord Vader in the temple during Order 66. I think it's fine. Now, granted, if he knows that she knows, that would be a little odd, but we don't really know. But how he found out, well, you got to remember, I mean, in the comics and stuff, he found out in a fucking cantina, literally watching the HoloNet. It literally popped up as a news thing. He was in a cantina, and then it popped up on the HoloNet, which is the news, right? And it said, Lord Darth Vader has won this is when people liked the Empire at the beginning. They still liked the Empire. They thought they were for order and justice and all that kind of stuff. And he finds out from a news program, essentially, that Darth Vader has won in a big battle on Kashyyyk. And when he heard the name Darth Vader, obviously he immediately knew, because he knew Anakin. He watched the hologram of him turning to Darth Vader, and Yoda confirmed it. So it's not that different. It actually works better, honestly, than just that. At least there's a personal connection with Reva being a Padawan. A-Team, Reva kept getting slammed around by everybody at law, not OP at all. Yeah, exactly. She's not. Now, do I like the way they've done the Inquisitors? All of them? Not really. I think they're really kind of did them dirty, because if you remember the games and Clone Wars and stuff like that or whatever, they're really pretty bad, or especially Rebels. They're really badass. I mean, so I think they kind of, and I don't like all the Inquisitor stuff as much as I thought I would, I guess. But yeah, she's definitely not OP, but I think people thought that was going to be it. Like, she's better than Vader. She's so powerful. No, they did it right. They did it right. Anybody trying to touch him as a Force user who was just basically a Jedi Padawan and was taught a little bit of dark side stuff to become an Inquisitor, has no chance of even getting close to him. Gabriel Green, hello, or Gabriel, I'm sorry, Green. I'm saying that wrong. It's going to be a season 2, and Reva is going after little Luke. I think that'll be next episode though. I don't know if they're going to season 2. There's been rumors of it, but nothing's been confirmed. I think Ewan McGregor, calling him Obi-Wan like it's really him. I think he said, he'd like to film, series. I think he said something like 7, 8, and 9 or whatever. So there could be, but I don't know. I don't know. I kind of doubt it. It depends on how this ends, and I think it will end with her deciding not to hurt Luke. Obviously, I think that's what's going on because she found that was the dumb part is Bail Organa. He calls Obi-Wan on this little thing, and then he hands all this stuff to the thief, fake Jedi dude, and then he drops the thing. Like, delete the message. Why didn't you delete the fucking delete your voicemail? So there were some things like that. It's like, okay, come on. You delete the voicemail. He literally started it off saying, I know we agreed to no communication, but I think you might find out about the children. I'm going to Tatooine. So come on, man. Delete it. Gee, let's delete your fucking voicemail. JR, by the way, thank you for live streaming. No problem, and I appreciate, excuse me. I appreciate you being here, man. I'm sorry, I choked him on spit. Fuzz Dog, what's up, man? Somehow Grand Inquisitor returned. They better have had him return because that was a completely broken line of canon if they didn't. What I said earlier, Fuzz Dog, is that species has 2 stomachs. So that is the reason. They didn't say that, I guess. I think he just said... I think he said that revenge is a great motivator to stay alive. But I think the Pone species or something. It's the same species that Obi-Wan ran into in Sith, where he runs into General Grievous. So that guy with the sharp teeth, that's actually his species. So that's why I don't like the looks of the Grand Inquisitor in the show. His head's too round, and it just doesn't look anything close to him or the actual Grand Inquisitor from... I know you can't make everybody look like a cartoon. Don't get me wrong. I get that, but anyway. So they didn't explain that, I guess, but I guess that's probably what they're going for. But yeah, that would have broken canon for sure. And the other thing, again, the only thing now to fix as far as like what we think's happening is the Leia stuff, because it is heavily implied that Leia does not know who Obi-Wan is personally, just of him. Zach K, what's up, Zach? His Force stamina bar had not recharged yet. Is that what? Yeah, you talking about the second ship where Wani didn't rip that one down? That's certainly a possibility. It does. Those big objects like that certainly drains you. Yoda showed that with Luke's X-wing, and that's Yoda, and of course, he was obviously 900 something years old too. So. I don't know. I think it was more like, well, shit. I really don't want to catch him. Because I know he's, old man now, and he's cut off from the Force. He wants Obi-Wan at his best for this rematch. Because he wants to win. Just like they used. That was what was great about this episode was the flashbacks, and then they're going back to the flashbacks of them having their little sparring session, and then the current timeline where they're thinking about each other in that way. That was pretty cool, the way they wrote that. And so he wants Obi-Wan to be back at his top level like they were on Mustafar before he actually fights him. Because he wants to win and have a shot. I think he's totally taken in episode 3, or was it 3 or 2, when he beats him and he's chasing him down, I think he's shocked of how weak he is being cut off from the Force. Because he basically ran from him, blocked some shots, and tried to get the hell out of there. I mean, you got to be weird to see your ex-best friend, Padawan, that you thought you killed, which you did dirty, by the way, by leaving him there to burn. And then all of a sudden, he's back with a vengeance in this big black suit, and he's a Sith Lord now and all this kind of stuff. So it's got to be a little A little odd. Voodoo Darling, from watching the first two episodes, honestly, I didn't like Reva's character. Yeah, I didn't love her character either, but I didn't like the Grand Inquisitor. Third brother, I didn't really have a feeling for either way. But yeah, I mean, is she the greatest actress in the world? No. But I think this episode, she did a hell of a lot better. You started to see some backstory and some feeling, but it's almost like it was how it was also shot. It was these weird angles and stuff. So, anyway, Chief, yeah, Fuzz, someone needs to explain how Inquisitor be alive in Rev. Yeah, I don't know if they'll go any further and explain it other than, of course, that's the weird thing about it. So he survived a lightsaber to the gut, and then Reva now is going to survive a lightsaber through the gut, and Qui-Gon did not. That's the other thing too, by the way. I meant to say. I'm glad you said that. Qui-Gon. I think we're going to get Qui-Gon the last episode. That's what's really going to push Obi-Wan back to his former self and get him ready to face Anakin again. Is Qui-Gon? I think he'll make contact with him. So I don't think we'll see a ghost because Qui-Gon never learned the ghost part of it, but he did learn the communication part of it. So I think we'll hear his voice for sure. Because otherwise, you'd have to go back and retcon and have Qui-Gon ghost everywhere and all that stuff. So, let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll down and catch up here now. Yeah, A-Team was replying to Voodoo. Yeah, I think that's right, A-Team. You're not really supposed to like her, but I guess there's a difference if you like the character or you don't like the acting of the character, if that makes sense. So I guess there's a difference there for sure. But Zach, in Legends, Vader does the same thing with the ship and the graphic novel. That's right, man. That's what I'm saying. This is stuff that's like the things that people are complaining about literally happened in books and comics and stuff like that. Now, again, it doesn't mean if you don't like it, that's fine. Because believe me, we all picked apart the prequels. We had problems with the prequels, and this was George Lucas, so it's not like Star Wars has never been under criticism. I mean, the prequels, I've actually went back and watched them the last few nights. I kind of got in the Star Wars mood again, and they're not as bad as you remember, but there's still very annoying things about them. And Star Wars has never been known for its great dialogue. George Lucas has never done really good dialogue at all. I mean, Hayden Christensen got a lot of not hate, but, people complaining back in the day. So this is not like it's something new where people are, where there's some controversy around characters. I mean, Jar Jar Binks, anybody, Hayden Christensen with the cheesy Anakin lines, and I get it. I mean, that's all legitimate criticism. I heard they're going to be a Reva series. Yeah, I've heard that, but I don't know if that's just people trolling because you have the people that don't like her, and then you have the people who are trying to defend her, and they're trolling each other, and it's just, who knows, man. We'll see. Yeah, but you can't believe anything on the new. True, Doc, that is true. He didn't believe it at first either, and that's probably why he reacted the way he did from actually seeing him that first or second, third episode, whatever it was. Let's see. Jessica, why are you not a mod? Now you are. Thank you, Jessica. Hit the like button, she's saying. Duke Silver, the Inquisitor are bad in the show. Yeah, I don't like them either. I just don't like the way they're portrayed. They haven't really shown them in any action at all. And again, but the problem is if you do too much Inquisitor stuff, then you're doing what people are complaining about, and you're taking away from Obi-Wan Vader stuff. Just like they're thinking that it's all about Leia instead of Luke, but it was never supposed to be about Luke, so it's taken away from Obi-Wan and Vader, which is what we're supposed to see. That's how we were sold this show. It was about Obi-Wan and Anakin's coming back and their relationship and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know why people ever thought it was about Luke. We were never going to see a bunch of Luke or something. We were going to see Luke training. Obviously, that comes in A New Hope and later. Charles Wilson, welcome, Charles. What's up, man? How you doing? I see that Targaryen, or I'm sorry, Blackfire. You got the Blackfire sigil. You got the black on red. Youngling versus Vader has no chance. No chance. No chance at all. That's literally the training she got, and then whatever she got from them being tortured into the dark side. But that's what they did right. They did that right. Cat hole. Did y'all see a cat hole back here? I didn't see. Jessica said cat hole. We're getting more bots. Why are we getting more bots? I have no idea. What, Lord Kev? Powin. Oh, the species. Dude, I've forgotten more Star Wars stuff than most people ever know. I'm telling you. I'm rusty on a lot of Star Wars stuff. I was close enough. Chief, I think they're going to do Order 666 series. That's going to hunt for the Jedi. Order 66 series. That would be cool with me. I would actually like to see the separate Inquisitor stuff, but I think we kind of saw that in, Clone Wars and Rebels. So it's kind of already done. We're going to definitely see Kanan and Ezra. Those are definitely coming back in the new shows. And Ahsoka, I think, probably. So they're probably kind of already doing that kind of stuff or have. Yankee fan, what's up, Yankee fan? Don't you think it's strange that Darth Vader can stop a ship, rip apart the ship, but not feel his own daughter was close? Can't he feel her power? Well, that is true. But remember, he has. I guess I've always took that because the Emperor found out Luke was a thing, right? And then he said the son of Skywalker can't become a Jedi. Go kill him, bring him before me. We'll turn him to the dark side. But then Luke's own emotions gave Leia away when he said, sister, if you won't turn, perhaps she will. So you got to remember, he never knew he had kids. He never knew until Empire Strikes Back. So if you don't know of their existence, I don't know how maybe he had some feelings, but you don't know what it is. It's hard to say how that works because obviously sometimes they can sense each other across the galaxy. I mean, they did it to each other like Anakin and Obi-Wan did it in the bacta tanks. That was supposed to be what that was. When Anakin said his name, when he found out who he was, that he was still alive. And then you've seen in the original trilogy, you saw Vader reach out to Luke. I mean, so it's hard to say how that works exactly. But you would think there'd be some kind of feeling there, right? But I just think there's so much going on. You can kind of forgive it in a way because he's so focused on Obi-Wan and remembering the past and still being Anakin and having the flashbacks. I mean, how much can you feel? I don't know. There's not really a good answer for that, obviously. But Leia did obviously show that she had some kind of power, like she resisted Reva's mind probe and all that stuff. Lord Kev, yeah, Yoda had to have a good nappy nap after lifting the X-Wing. He did, man. And that was Yoda. I don't know where these bots are coming from. Actual sex bots. Oh, shit. Zach K, it makes a lot of sense because he could have just killed him earlier on episode 3, and I wonder why he didn't. Yeah. I think, that's what I mean, is people seem to, not saying you personally, I'm saying in general, a lot of the criticism is like, he could have just grabbed him through the fire. Yeah, he could have, but he doesn't really want to yet. You know what I mean? He wants him at his best. That's literally what this story was about with the flashbacks, was like, Anakin, your will to win is clouded your judgment, blah, blah, blah. And that's what it is. He still has feelings for him, not just all hate. He was a father figure, so. Excuse me. Gabriel, when Reva goes after Luke, she's not going to be much of a challenge to Obi-Wan either. Oh, no chance. No, yeah, there's no way she could stand a chance against Obi-Wan. I mean, assuming Obi-Wan's got his groove back and all that stuff, yeah, she has no shot. In any Inquisitor, except for the Grand Inquisitor, who was a Jedi Temple Master or a Temple Guard, would have any chance against a fully trained Jedi as far as like an Obi-Wan stature character. Some of the other ones do because they were more advanced than, like Reva, for example. She was only a youngling. Obviously, she's not that trained. Whereas the Grand Inquisitor was a Temple Guard with a double-bladed yellow lightsaber back in the day, and was obviously probably a badass. So you got the different levels there. Zach, do you think Reva survived the Padawan killings and Vader stab because she can force heal? I mean, it's a possibility. Maybe that was her thing. Everybody seems to have a trick. But it looks like she got stabbed in, too. It showed her wince in pain with the flashback. So I think this is the second time, which is why he did it again. Because I thought he was going to come up with both sabers, right, when he had both halves of her saber, and do the Count Dooku thing, right, and kind of take the head. You know, I assumed that's what was going to happen when I saw him walking towards her with both after he took it back from her. But he just did the stab, and it did the flashback thing where she was seeing both timelines. So I think she has before. I think that's what they went for. So I think that and obviously he remembered her. He called her youngling. Chief, biggest mistake they made, we don't have Vader theme music. Yeah, I think, though, I was saying that earlier about the music. That's what Lord Kev was saying. They didn't play it, but and I haven't thought much about the music, honestly. But I think we'll probably get that in the last episode. It's almost like he's Vader now type of thing, if that makes any sense. So I'm assuming there'll be something along those lines. Maybe not. Maybe there will be a season 2. But Dark Lord would really make a good show. I would really wish they would convert that book into a show of his own, where he's just out hunting other Jedi. He's learning how to deal with the suit and all that kind of stuff. But this would be during this time period, obviously. So probably not going to happen. Jessica, you're too analytical for this. We're being analytical. Jessica, what you mean? No such thing as too analytical. Dixie Normus. love the name Dixie. It was always a dead giveaway that Reva's eyes are not the yellow Sith color. Well, Dixie, no non-Sith have those color eyes except for the Grand Inquisitor eventually does, but they are not Sith. So they are not close to Sith. They're never going to be Sith. They're just literally pawns. They torture them into using their hate and all that kind of stuff, and they teach them a couple things, but not enough to be a Sith. They're not Sith. There's only 2. And of course, Palpatine's plan, even in the old canon, where Timothy Zahn novels, he wanted to live forever. He never expected Vader to try to kill him and carry on the rule of 2, like he did with Plagueis and all that, all the way back to Darth Bane. Speaking of Darth Bane, I was talking to a buddy yesterday. I hope they do a Darth Bane series. That would be outstanding. XQ, Kenobi, what's up, man? Kenobi is going to duel him again, and I feel like Qui-Gon has to somewhat aid him, and whether that'll be in the Force or whatever, at least communicate with him. Yeah, I think so, too. They have to meet each other again. It's probably going to be half fight, half conversation, where he tries to kind of save him in some way to make the Last Jedi stuff. I'm sorry, the Last Jedi. I'm sorry, I apologize. I'll never say that again. To make the Empire and Return of the Jedi stuff make sense with the conversation they had about Obi-Wan once thought as you did, like I was saying before. But I think we will definitely hear Qui-Gon. Duke, I thought Revenge of the Sith was good. Yeah, I thought Revenge was fine. I didn't have a problem with anything, any prequels overall. I had a problem with, obviously Jake Lloyd. He was just a kid, but he wasn't a great, young Anakin. But you know, when you go back and watch it now, it's okay. You know, there's things that we complained about that were just picky, because I mean, you have high expectations, right? So, but they definitely overused CGI and all that stuff. But the only thing I didn't like about Revenge of the Sith, because it's by far obviously the best trilogy or the best prequel movie, was the fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan was outstanding, except for when they started climbing on the lava stuff. And I know they had to get to some lava, so that's why they did it, but they could have did it differently. They're climbing up the thing, and it falls over, and they leap on robots that are floating around. I thought all that was kind of dumb to get to the shore where he has the high ground. So I think they could have did that different. The fight itself was great before that. Obviously, it's probably obviously some people think it's the best lightsaber duel there is. I don't think that's the case, but yeah, by far it was the best. It's a great movie. And now you look back on it with a lot of like nostalgia and stuff, just like you kind of almost not as much as like old people like me have with the original trilogy, but anyway. Yeah, I had no problem with the prequels other than obviously the big things like Jar Jar being overkill and, you know, some of the, you know, the one thing I will say I've never liked about any Star Wars is there's too many little, like, they overdo the connections. You know what I mean? Like, you had Anakin as a kid, he built 3PO. Well, then 3PO ended up being on the Lars homestead before A New Hope. In the prequels, he's there because he was still on Tatooine. He ends up going with Shmi Skywalker to Lars, and he's working there, but then he comes back in A New Hope and gets bought by Luke and Uncle Owen, and they didn't recognize, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I know they had mind wipes and stuff. They explained all that. Believe me, I understand that. But there's just too many little things like that where R2-D2, he was in Queen Amidala's ship, and he saved the day and then became, you know, there was a lot of stuff like that. It was just kind of cheesy. But, you know, you got to remember, these are made for kids in mind, at least. You know what I'm saying? So, Manimus, what's up, man? How you doing? Vader will never know about the children, or else Star Wars timeline does. Exactly, he can't. He can't know. So he's not gonna. Obviously, we know how this ends. He's not gonna find out for sure. Oh God, Lord Kev, Jar Jar, the secret Sith Lord. That's complete nonsense. I always hated that theory. I looked into it, and people think that like he had this idea of him being one, and they just kind of forgot about it and covered it up, but never bought into it, man. I would have hated it, every bit of it. Yankee fan, don't you think that Darth Vader can rip apart a control ship, but not since his daughter is so close? Yeah, no, I think he could, but we don't really know how that works. It's never, to my knowledge, been explained on sensing people or whatever. We've got vague references about the dark side clouding things. His own mind is clouded right now. He's still conflicted about who he is and what he's becoming. So we don't really know how that works. If he doesn't know he has kids, does he have a feeling but don't know what it is? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. There's never been any real clarity, and I think that's a good thing. That's why I think a lot of people hated the midichlorians crap in the prequels, right? Because you don't need to explain the Force. We don't need to know the scientific facts behind it. Leave it vague and mysterious. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, could he? Sure. But if he doesn't know he has kids, does he know it when he feels something? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, are they overdoing the Leia stuff? Yeah, I think I like Leia. I think she's fine. They overdid it with because she got kidnapped. It's the same story they've already done. She got kidnapped twice in the same series. But you know, I'm fine with her. I think she's fine. But yeah, they should have had her kind of maybe in one episode where he goes and takes her back, and that gets him involved in something else. There's a lot of things they could have done to keep her away from like Vader being so close. But I guess, but you don't know. Also, like he got really close when, like in this episode, they took off on the ship. He was standing there in the same thing, but you know he was just staring. So what was he thinking? He didn't say anything. So we don't really know what's going on in his head either. But obviously he doesn't find out until Return of the Jedi that he even has a daughter. So What would be Jar Jar's theme song? Sith music? Oh, hell no, Voodoo Darling, no. Um, Dr. Public, am I saying that right? 76, and he got the yellow eyes after killing young. Yeah, it's after you give in to you let the hate flow through you. They don't stay that way until you get to like emperor level stuff, and you start getting the pale skin and all that stuff. But yeah, after killing, he did that on Mustafar as well. Before when he went and wiped out the Trade Federation and the rest of all that stuff, that's when his eyes really started glowing. Not in the temple. Because he was just letting his hate flow and just killing everybody, and all of that was building. So that was the idea. That's really when it became Vader, kind of, sort of, where he had kind of crossed the point of no return. You know, that's when they first glowed. A-Team. Yeah, that's right. A-Team, this is a good point. Talking to Yankee fan, Vader is face to face with Leia in A New Hope and didn't know. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We don't know how this works, right? Which is a good thing, I think. We don't need to know. He literally was talking to her face to face, and just said it was just Princess Leia, a senator from, a senator, before he disbanded the Senate. So yeah, I mean. That is true. So well, yeah, that's all I'm saying. It's just I'm trying to be consistent because there was lots of criticism of the prequels, and of course nobody called you a name for not liking the prequels back in the day. But now if you don't like something, you're called. If you don't like Reva, for example, you're probably a sexist or whatever it may be. So I don't like all that bullshit. I think there's legitimate criticism of any actor or actress. Obviously, not attacking the person personally. I think that's just dumb. I think you're an asshole if you do. I don't know. That's only been a handful of people, and we don't really know who those people are. But yeah, I mean, we've always criticized Star Wars because people are so passionate about it, and that's why people criticize it, and they kind of want to protect it from all this bullshit in modern day TV and movies. JR Reva series will be a dark side team up with Ventress in honor of Pride Month. I don't think she'll get a series though. Ventress, I'd like to see Asajj Ventress for sure. That'd be cool. But again, we kind of got all that with the Clone Wars. Jake from State Farm says randomly, Yankees suck, let's go Mets. I guess you're talking to a Yankee fan. Don't got baseball wars going on. I don't have a dog in that fight, man. Avocado, yo, what's up, man? How you doing? A-Team, Kenobi seemed to feel that Reva saw the hologram message. Yeah, he did. He sensed when he said something's wrong, that's exactly what he was sensing. He's like, oh, shit, I got to get back to Tatooine. I got to drop her off and get back there, so that's exactly what's going to happen. So he wasn't sure what that feeling was, but I think he got the feeling that Luke had been exposed, I believe, was what he was experiencing. Lord Kev, you're talking to Voodoo, talking about went more gray because of balance of the kids. I don't think he would go on dark side. He would remain with the existing Jedi either. I don't know if you were talking about Luke, whatever. That's what we thought with Luke in the sequels, but that really never happened. It was supposed to be that Rey was supposed to be the first, person back to like gray status, which were the original Jedi Order from a millennia ago, which I thought was the goal of balance, but oh well. They screwed that up. Doc, how Obi-Wan got his groove back. Now that's a movie much better than Stella. I agree 100%, man. That should be done for sure. Good title, man. It's a good title. What's up, Donnie? How you doing, man? Donnie Lyons, ladies and gentlemen, back as we finally got back on YouTube. How can the split saber light after it was cut in half? The sabers only have one crystal. No, those have two crystals, Donnie. Any double-bladed saber has two crystals at least, and some are actually designed to come apart. It wasn't cut in half. Yeah, those are designed to come apart. It wasn't But I mean, if you cut a lightsaber in the right spot, it could possibly still work. But you would destroy the power cell, most likely, at least one of them. So that's like Obi-Wan did with Darth Maul's. He cut his in half, and one end didn't work, and he used the other one. But yeah, they have 2 crystals, and that's another thing too. By the way, I said this before, probably on an old live stream or something. But this new canon with the crystals and changing all that lore was just fuck all that, man. That's some Disney bullshit. That's what I hate. Is they want to fuck around with the established lore and rename planets like Korriban to Moribond and all this kind of stuff, and change the way crystals. Now all of a sudden, instead of they're corrupted and bleeding from a. Come on, man. Sean G. Oh, there you go, Sean. I'm sorry, you just said that. What I said. Double-bladed sabers have 2 crystals. Lord Kev, Donnie, talking to Donnie, the Inquisitor sabers were mostly double-ended sabers with twin crystals. That's how they can be split and still function. There you go, same thing. Dixie Normus meant dark side, not Sith. No, I got you. I was just using that as an opportunity to say that there's some people I've seen some comments about Sith and stuff, and it's like no. Not saying you, Dixie. I'm saying in general, on some videos and things like that as well, like about Sith versus Inquisitors. They're nowhere close to Sith, not even close. So I just want to use that as a talking point. Anyway, Chief, someone say they saw Mace Windu. Yeah, that wasn't Mace. That was if you look closer, what you're talking about is the scene where Obi-Wan finds in Inquisitorius all the Jedi that are in stasis. Whether they're dead or alive, we don't really know. I think they're probably dead. They're going to be studied for cloning, obviously. Because that's got to all lead to the damn sequels, unfortunately. But that was not Mace. If you looked at closer, he had hair, and there was something else I don't remember, but it wasn't him. Now I've heard rumors they're going to somehow bring him back in some show or series or whatever. I don't think they do, but if they do that, that was not him in this show. Is all I'm saying. There were a couple of Jedi in there that you recognize from Clone Wars and stuff, but not definitely not Mace. Let's see. JR, yeah, the prequels look much better after the sequels. 100%. That's what I'm saying. I watched Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones the last 3 nights. I've split them up and watched both of those. And then I'll start Revenge of the Sith, and yeah, you see them differently for sure after a lot of time. Are there still cheesy problems? Yes, 100%. But it's still the thing about Lucas is he had a story and he had a vision and he told the story well. There were just some cheesy ways he did it. So yeah, the sequels make them look like masterpieces, 100%. Again, Episode 7 was fine. I had no problem with Rey. I had no problem with the new characters. It did its job. It was a repeat of A New Hope, like down to the T, even with plans and a droid. But it was fine. But once Ruin Johnson got a hold of it, it was complete trash. It had nothing to do with Star Wars. It was all identity politics, and I completely reject it. Yeah, Sean, definitely too many. Sean, you put it better than I did. It's a small world. I need to quote that. Yeah, there's just too many small world encounters in Star Wars as a whole. So it's always had its problems. It's always had little cheesy things and bad dialogue in some cases, and a lot of cases. But the overall story was there, and the feeling, and you'll just never outdo A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. You just never, and Return of the Jedi too. Nothing will ever come close to. And I know that's a lot of feeling, not necessarily objective filmmaking or whatever, but you'll never come close to approaching those in those movies, because you can only see those the first time, and you've got the big reveal in Empire, and oh shit, you can never go back close to that, approach that level. Mr. Maximus, what's up, man? Midichlorians serve the purpose of explaining how the Force can run strong within a family. Not possible if it's a religion. No, I agree with that, Mr. I totally agree. I'm not saying it's like a deal breaking the worst thing in the world in Star Wars. Believe me, I didn't have a big problem with it. I was just, after, especially at first, it's like when you first watched it, especially being in the theater in 1999, after you hadn't been in a theater since 1984 or 83, seeing a Star Wars film, there's just so much nostalgia and you're so pumped about it. You're not even thinking about like all the stuff that makes sense. It wasn't until later that people were like, yeah, I don't know if he should have said that. Just leave it a little more vague, but at least make it. It does make it make sense for like bloodlines and stuff like that, and the counts, all that stuff. But they could have said that in a different way, I guess, without really making it. But again, I'm fine with it now. Once you think about it, you're like, yeah, it doesn't make it any worse. It just leaves some mystery there. Is all I'm saying. Don't have to explain every single thing, but it does actually work with the story of like the Skywalker family line, the legacy, why Anakin's so powerful and why Luke and Leia, et cetera, et cetera. Sean G, it being a religion doesn't explain their ability thing with the Force, so it was always obvious it was something more than simply a religion. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was, religion was more of a looser term that Tarkin used, I guess. But it did become, now, regardless of midichlorians and how the Force works and all that stuff, I did these old ancient videos now of history of the Sith, history of the Jedi. They're still on the channel. They're so old, and they're good videos as far as the information, but they're horrible videos as far as how I sounded like shit. I didn't have a mic, and I just bought a camera. It was some of the first videos I did, but the point being that the Jedi did become a religion, and that's why they became too dogmatic. That's what started the split, the 100-Year War, all those stuff, the 100-Year Darkness, and the separate splits where the Jedi, other people left and became the separate sects, and then they went and attacked them, and then eventually the 12 people they banished to deep space that became the Sith, Lords of the Sith. That's because they became too dogmatic. They made it a religion. Somebody decided that, hey, the light side, the Ashla and the Bogan, right? The Ashla is the good side. For some reason, the Bogan's the bad side, named after these moons on Tython. Obviously, we won't get into all that here, but the point being is it started to become a religion as opposed to just a study of this mystical force. So that's the Jedi were always the assholes. I've always said that. I'm telling you, they were. It literally was the way it happened. What's up, Uncle Lion? How you doing? Ungoliant, whatever we decided upon. Oh shit. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it didn't absolutely need it like Sean's saying, but it's fine. But if people have that understanding of like the ancient Jedi and how they were and what caused the rift between them and people that become Darksiders only, that's what I wish they would go into in like a show or a movie or something. That would be cool. Randy, I never disliked the prequels, but was not nearly as interested as the original trilogy. Others I know are fans who love the lore. Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about them either way. Like, for example, if you just had the original trilogy and you never saw the prequels, but you know the general idea that this guy used to be Anakin Skywalker, that works by itself. There's enough enough, but there's enough mystery left to go, how did he become this evil Darth Vader? But then that's the other half of it is like, okay, well, would I want to see that on the screen? Yeah, I kind of want to see how that happened. So I was super excited about him. And of course, Lucas had the plan for 9 anyway from all those years ago. And again, like I said, when Disney bought Lucasfilm, they threw away his outlines for episodes 7, 8, and 9, which would have featured Darth Maul and Darth Talon as his apprentice. So he would have been the big bad instead of bringing the Emperor back and all this other bullshit they did with Kylo Ren. I guess y'all are talking about baseball. Let's see here. Gabriel, when Vader came face to face on episode 4, Leia couldn't have been Force sensitive because he would have felt it. I know Vader sensed Luke right before he blew up the Death Star. No, she has always been Force sensitive. It was just it was almost like a suppressed thing. She always had these feelings but didn't understand it, so she never, till later on in other stuff that's now kind of legends where we saw, and now in the shows too, where Luke did train Leia to some degree before she decided not to become a Jedi and decided to serve as the general and all that kind of stuff. So she kind of pushed that away. She was born Force sensitive. She just didn't know what it was. And I don't think she was never as powerful as Luke, obviously, but she could have been. She had the bloodline for it, obviously. Because because you're Force sensitive, like I said, we don't know how that exactly works. Leia was standing right there in the same hallway with him in the ship and didn't know it was a daughter, didn't know she was Force sensitive. But you don't also, it's kind of the unspoken things, like did he feel something, just not say anything? We don't know any of that stuff because at the time, obviously, they didn't have everything. I mean, Lucas had everything mapped out, but the backstories and all that stuff, not necessarily. Darth Vader was stupid 3 times in this episode. What do you mean? It was stupid. If you're talking about letting people go and stuff, I mentioned that before. I took that in all these cases as he is still very much conflicted. He is not he's still he's 60% Vader, 40% Anakin, and that gets less and less Anakin obviously over time. I'm just making up those numbers obviously, but he's not catching Obi-Wan on purpose because he wants him to be at his best. He wants the revenge, and he sees that he's like this old kind of washed up guy who's been disconnected from the Force for 10 years, and he can't believe it. So he's conflicted about actually catching him. It's like when a dog chases a cat. What happens when they actually catch him? What happens when Coyote actually catches the Roadrunner? You know what I'm saying? I mean, does he really want to do that? You know what I'm saying? Or is it the thrill of the chase? That's the way I took it. Because we can all say, look, we know he could have grabbed him to the fire and all that stuff, but there's a reason he didn't. So you have to interpret that only a handful of ways. What are you saying, Lord Kev? He actually had his right hand. If it was Mace, he wouldn't because Anakin removed it for him. You talking about the guy on the thing? Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Lord Kev, about the hand. But I think he had both. Well, Jake, Vader would not let Reva live. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know that he that he wants to kill her. He knows she is a youngling, and I think that's why he stabbed her as opposed to did the fucking Count Dooku double-bladed decapitation. So it makes you wonder. He called her youngling. So he's there's some part of him that still feels bad. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Did he leave her to die? Did he expect her to die? Did he not make sure she was dead for a reason? Remember, that's what I'm saying. This is the evolution of not only Obi-Wan, but Anakin to Vader. It didn't happen overnight where he's fully like dark side and has no feeling for anybody. There's obviously flashes of that where he's like killing people in the streets and stuff, but he's trying to get a reaction from Obi-Wan. He's trying to sense his fear. That's his main drive. So yeah, that's the way I'm taking that anyway. That kind of stuff where, okay, he could have just took her head off and been done with it, but now it's like you got to think he's remembering all this too, right? He still feels in some way bad. Jessica, all right, Jessica, have a good one. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. Appreciate you hanging out. Good night. Have a good one. It is getting close to midnight. I was going to start this earlier, but I wasn't 100% sure I was doing it. And then I was like, well, let's just do our regular time that we do on Sundays, and then that way everybody can watch it today or tonight or whatever during prime time, and then that way we can discuss it without people not knowing what the hell we're talking about. Even episode 7 was bad. No, I agree on Glenn. Yeah, it was. I didn't like it. Like I have old reviews on it. I said the same thing. It was good in the sense it was a proven safe strategy. It was A New Hope, literally the same thing as A New Hope, down to the droid. But it did. All I was saying was it did its job as to introduce like the new characters and whatever in a very similar way. But yeah, nothing compares to 8. It's complete trash. 9 had, of course, some. You could see where they were trying to save it, and they tried to bring Luke back and redeem him and make him not such a pussy. And pardon my language, but that's what they did. That's what Rian Johnson did to him. And Mark Hamill hated all that too. In every interview, he complained about it. And I don't know if you guys remember all that stuff, but anyway. Liam, what's up, man? I don't think it saved the series, but it definitely got people hyped for the finale. Yeah, for sure. Either way, if you wiped out the other ones, this was there's not much you can say about this one except for nitpicky things like we talked about earlier. I don't know, we already have, but if you're seeing this and still saying this is not Star Wars, it's not Obi-Wan, it's about girl power and all this other stuff, you're not watching the same show. This was all about Anakin and Obi-Wan and their connection, and it showed him becoming who he is and all that stuff. So yeah, will it change the rest of the episodes? No, but I think it makes it better as a whole. If you watched all this as a movie, for example, and one episode is a movie like they're supposed to be doing, I believe next week they're releasing the whole series in like the theaters, so you can watch all 5.5 hours or whatever it's going to be at one time. I think it certainly helps save the series in that sense. It can undo the stupid decisions from other episodes for sure. I mean, you had some dumb shit in these shows. The guard gate with the laser gate. I mean, where Obi-Wan's trying to blast the thing to cut the lasers off, when you had these big gaps where they could run around it. I mean, you had stupid stuff for sure. It'll never be fixed. But the prequels and other Star Wars movies had kind of cheesy, stupid stuff in some cases. Let's see, A-Team. I need to go check those out. What are we checking out? Jake. So I know I answered that question. You said Vader would not have let Reva live. So, what do you think about that, Jake? I mean, does that make sense to you? If you've read Dark Lord and stuff, and you in some of the Dark Horse comics and all that stuff, you know that Vader's just not like he's not to the level of New Hope Vader, Empire Vader yet, is what I'm saying. Even though he never fully gets there, obviously there's always conflict in him for sure. What's up, Ungoliant? I don't know if you've heard me. I've been answering your questions. I hope you heard me before. Lord Kev, did I not say Ungoliant? No, I was just joking, Big Kev. We had this discussion like 2 years ago. Ungoliant, Ungoliant. But I've always said Ungoliant. Let's see. Mr. Maximus, are you looking forward to continuing in the Andor series? Actually, I am not. I don't really. I mean, I'll watch it, but I don't really care about it. I mean, I think we got enough in Rogue One. I don't think we need to see any more. I think that was more of I like this character. A few people like the character. Let's try it out. And he's producing it, who played the character. So I don't really care about it. I mean, we don't need it. Will I watch it? Sure, I'll watch it, but I don't really look forward to it in that way. I don't need to know any more about it than I saw in Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was outstanding. But it gave me all I needed to know about these people who got these plans to the rebellion. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, I'll check it out, but I'm not like going, oh yeah, I can't wait till Andor comes out type of thing, obviously. Now, Ahsoka, absolutely looking forward to that kind of shit. I love Jedi and Sith stuff. You know, I want to see more of that. I don't know if this new show, the what's the one called they're planning. They haven't announced anything about it, but they announced the name Dark Acolyte or just Acolyte. Was it Acolyte or Dark Acolyte? I think it's Acolyte. What's that going to be about? Definitely looking forward to that just by the name. So that's just me. I don't mind. I actually enjoy all the backstories and the lore and the stuff you don't necessarily see. It's kind of the plain stuff that happens in the background. But Rogue One turned out to be outstanding. But I don't know that I need to explore Andor himself any more than that. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. But I'm certainly think I'll enjoy it. Abraham, I don't know. Somebody got. I'm not sure. Jake took care of something there. Nightbot's. Okay. I guess, man, I don't know. Are somebody playing baseball right now? I don't know what's going on. Donnie, do you think we'll ever get Darth Krayt? Thought Obi-Wan would be a good chance to introduce him. Krayt comes much later as the new Sith, so I don't think we'll do that anytime soon. Darth Krayt is the new Sith much later, and again, that's, I guess, technically not canon anymore, so they can still obviously pull from that if they want. They own it all. But they were going to use, Donnie, in that time period, they were going to combine George Lucas's original plan for 7, 8, and 9 was Darth Maul becoming the big bad Sith Lord Master, and Darth Talon, the female Twi'lek, the one with black and red, she's real cool, was going to be his apprentice. Now, she was actually under Darth Krayt, so they were going to combine some of that. So I don't think we'll ever get Krayt being the new Sith. I didn't really care for all the newer stuff when we got away from the rule of two and they kind of broke that rule again and went back to like mini Sith under Darth Krayt. I didn't really care for it personally, so I don't think at least for a while, because they got so much stuff they can do, man. I think they'll go backwards before they go forwards, is what I'm saying. Like, I want to see Knights of the Old Republic. I want to see Reva. I want to see Darth Malak. I want to see like the origin of the Jedi and the Sith and all that stuff. I would rather see that than the new Sith. Let's see here. ATC, I believe the most of these Disney Plus shows are fan service for a new generation audience. Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, look, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I think it's the, you know, you can't sit there and rely on the original trilogy forever. Those have to be discovered, and that's the way that people discover those. Like younger kids, like they're going to see a Disney Plus show that's something like this, where it's some backstory or side story or a movie that will lead them to go, what does that mean? You know, what is Star Wars? What is and then they hear about the original. So, yeah, I mean, it's a way to keep the franchise going, and there's just millions of years, literally, of stuff they can do. So I think it's great. It's a great opportunity. Now, the question is, will they accept, honest criticism of stuff and not use this political messaging and do these great shows like they have so far with like Mandalorian and stuff. So that's what I think it's a good thing. But again, do I think Kathleen Kennedy is the person to run Star Wars? No, I don't. I think, but you have to admit that some great things have come out as her being the boss of Star Wars. But I think Filoni and Favreau are the best things that could possibly happen. Deborah Chow, it was really good in Mandalorian. Obviously, she's had some questionable stuff with her writers in this series, but she's directed every episode. But she directed some of the best episodes of Mandalorian. So you have a people there that know Star Wars. It's just that like this series hired people that didn't know anything about Star Wars with some of these decisions. So that's the problem with Disney. ATC also Q&A, will Germ ever finish Winds of Winter? Nope, not going to happen. We'll probably maybe eventually get Winds in another 3 or 4 years or something, but you're not going to see ever a Dream of Spring. It's not going to happen unless somebody finishes it for him, which I think he's perfectly fine with. I don't think he cares anymore. He's trying to build this TV legacy. Now he's made it perfectly clear in his things where it used to be all about wins was more important than anything. Now it's more about Westeros is more important than anything, which includes all of these TV shows he's a part of. So no, we'll never get an official book ending. The ending is what you saw on HBO. I don't get why people don't accept that, even though he said that himself in many interviews that he gave them the ending. Now, obviously, there's lots of different stuff and lots more characters and all that. I won't get into all that stuff. I'm just saying that's the ending. That's the way it's going to happen in the books. The big things are going to be the same. It's just going to be done better. But I still don't like that ending. I just don't. So, yeah, we're never going to see it. And we'll see. I do look forward to House of the Dragon, though. Tis but a scratch, exactly, Lord Kev. That's what I thought about, actually, is Monty Python. Uncle Lynn, I said this earlier. I don't know if you heard me because you were saying, hey, Chris, I don't know if you've heard a lot of my answers to you earlier tonight, but yeah. No, that species has 2 stomachs. So, yeah. Now, Reva, fair question. We'll see what happens. You would think, though, a lightsaber wound would not be as bad as, say, like a gunshot, right? Because at least it's there's no blood. It's going to immediately sear those wounds. So, I mean, it's not totally unbelievable, but we'll see if I don't think they'll probably want to go into explaining it. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but Bolting Vulture, what's up, man? If they don't meet until A New Hope, what happens in the episode? Leia returns to Alderaan, Kenobi returns to Tatooine and faces Reva. Why else is she still alive? The path to move on their next base. 2, Vader rages about not having Kenobi, not much compelling TV. Yeah, no, I think, they have to meet again, though. So it's not just going to be Reva and Kenobi. I think Vader and Obi-Wan have to have another confrontation. I don't know if it's a full fight or conversation or maybe a little of both or whatever, because he's going to try to talk to Anakin, and I think we get Qui-Gon talking to him. The boy is the chosen one. There's still good in him, or whatever it may be. So there's something like that we have to hear, because in Return of the Jedi, when he says to Luke, Obi-Wan once thought as you do, when Luke's saying, come with me, I think that has to be in here. Unless we're getting another season to explain that, which I don't think we'll get. I think they could end up doing too much, because this is only 8 years, right? I mean, 8 years later, and A New Hope happens, so they can't do too much where they've seen each other the whole time. It's got to be a long period of time. So, what's up, Everett Cooper? How you doing? Been way too long since I joined the stream. Been a few years just stumbling on your page again. Very cool, man. I hope we start attracting some people back as we get close to House of the Dragon. I'm really looking forward to that show and the live streams and all that stuff after. Can we just did we just ban that other bot again? Thank you. I'm sorry. I guess Lord Kev, you got that. Thank you. Uncle Ant, I will say this was the best episode for Reva, and I'm dreading Andor only because I completely sure Disney will use the series to fuck up the only good thing they have done in the movies. Yes, I 100% agree that Reva, this was the best episode for her. It showed her in a better light. It gave her more of, obviously, you got the understanding of her motivations. She was better in this episode as the character, I think. he didn't have the silly stuff about like Leia knowing. Why would Leia know anything about this underground railroad for Jedi? You know, I don't understand where they even came up with that. Like she would even have a clue. But it was just more to show, I guess, kind of a hint of Leia's, you know, strong abilities in the Force or whatever. But yeah, Andor. I'll watch it. I don't have a feeling either way. I don't think we need it, but there's so many other things they could do. But you know, if they got the money, they can do what they want. And I'm sure I'll like it. I like the character. I just don't know that we need a whole series on that character. You know, we got too many other big characters that we could see. Oh, there's Mizuma. Look, he's back now. He missed the whole stream. he must have went and watched the episodes or playing DVD. I'll get on here in a few, Mizuma, and probably play a little bit, I'm sure. But I'm also getting tired of it. There's like a 10-minute delay. What? Are we serious? We have a 10-minute 10 minutes. Hold on now. Are you serious? Is that an exaggeration? I hope that's an exaggeration. It shows stream is excellent, healthy.
Today we are taking.
Let me. Okay, I'm just pulling it up here. It's playing ads or something, but tell me it's not really 10 minutes. Hold on. Stream is excellent, healthy. Yeah, no, okay, we're not. So thank God. I was gonna say, man. I just had to see where. So yeah, we're on our regular like a 30-second delay. It looks like. All right. Yeah, I don't, and it might be a little bit of a delay for sure. All right. Sean, yeah, 17, Luke, 7 years, yeah, whatever, 7, 8, whatever. 18, Vader is going to have to think Kenobi is dead next episode. Yeah, I mean, there may be something where he could think he's dead for sure because, you know, he doesn't really know in A New Hope. He senses it. Obviously, we've already talked about that. But who is this Abraham? What is he doing, man? Oh, Gallant, you were reading all my comments 5 minutes after I post. Yeah, so that's what I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Because I answered all those. Then you said, "What's up, Chris?" I'm like, wait a minute. I've been talking the whole time. No, I think maybe in your case, but I just checked it. I don't think we're that far behind. Maybe there was some chat delay, but not that long. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what Abraham here is doing. Y'all are deleting all his messages, so I don't see him. Anyway, I'm typing this message at 12:12, and I see it, and it's 12:12. Just turned 12:13. Think we're good. Jason Clutchy, what's up, Jason? Yeah, he's elaborating on a topic. Get with it. Well, there may have been some delay on his end. Yeah, that's right, Doc. He's taking long to answer your questions and how fast the chat moves. That is true, and believe me, this is nothing compared to the way it used to be. What we got, 60 viewers, 57 something. This chat used to be fucking insane. Like it was a blur. I had to literally stop it. It was crazy back in the day. Hopefully, we'll get back to that kind of excitement with House of the Dragon. That'd be cool. Yeah, Mizuma still loves bunk beds for sure. Bolting, did you discuss the Jedi and Amber Liquid from episode 4 still alive or just being experimented on? Excuse me. Shades of Luminara on Dilly's bones from Rebels. Yeah, I mentioned I mentioned him. I did mention the. I was saying they're probably dead. They're in some kind of stasis on that liquid. But the idea I got, obviously, bolting was that it's their Palpatine starting to experiment on Jedi like Plagueis did, his master, and starting the process of figuring out how he's going to get a clone body to live forever. Obviously, that was his plans. So that's the way I took that for sure. But yeah, you had a couple known characters in there. I just didn't do any breakdowns and detailed breakdowns because I just, I've never. I do those videos on Star Wars where I sit there and break them down and cut them up and edit for hours and all that stuff, and it doesn't do anything. I'd rather sit here and talk about it live. I just can't drive myself insane anymore with editing every day all the time. It's just insane. So I don't know. This might just become a live channel, honestly. Even with House of the Dragon, I don't know if I want to be in a rat race. I mean, I guess I'll do those. We'll see. But yeah, I'm just in a box here. It's just weird, and that's why I said, fuck it. We're just going to do what we want. Because if, YouTube, well, I'm not going to get the whole YouTube rant or something, but I'm just saying, I can't do anything else without it killing the channel. That's not like now House of the Dragon related, I guess, or Game of Thrones related. But that show's dead and gone, so we've got to move on. No, it's not delayed, but it was. Maybe a refresh. Yeah, okay, cool. And Anthony Stark, what's up, Anthony? Fine for you. All right, so yeah. Maybe if that happens, just try to refresh. Maybe that'll fix it. Jason, yes. Are you looking forward to Kevin Feige's movies? Yeah, I mean anything. I think we'll see. I mean, I'm always going to be after Jedi or I'm sorry, I keep saying Jedi, but The Last Jedi specifically. I'm always going to be weary about anything Disney, but again, we've had good Star Wars movies under Disney. Rogue One and all that stuff. Solo was pretty good. But yeah, I mean, it depends on the what they're doing. Are they going to the Old Republic era, or they're going to do it off the known canon and lore? Or are they going to change it up to cheesy Disney stuff sometimes, like they have in some cases? So I'll worry about it for sure. But I mean, I would check it out before I would place judgment on it. Kind of like this show has been so divisive in some ways, but I understand both sides. Everett, one of the first of A Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones YouTubers I watched. I need to get more into the SmokeScreen. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I used to do pretty good around here, but that's all over and done with. So we'll see what happens with this new show, man. I really am looking forward to House of the Dragon. I think it's going to be a really good show. I think they learned from the last failure. With obviously we have all the source material and all that stuff as well. So and the way it's told, it's got an ending, so to speak. We know how it ends, so it's going to be cool to see the details and how it gets there. Doc, what's in your box? What's in the box? I saw a damn I think it was a TikTok the other day. It reminded me of you. It was somebody doing impressions of different actors saying what's in the box instead of Brad Pitt. I thought about that. Let's see. All right. That's my kids coming in. Give me 1 second, guys, and I will be right back.
upon a time we were both happy. Everything was fine, then suddenly it leave. I was left behind, broken in pieces. Then you'd reappear. Sometimes we all feel a little afraid. We don't put our emotions on display. But I've gotta be strong, and I don't wanna know if you feel it too. Your chances are all gone, and I don't need you anymore. Try to toe the line, make you wanna stay. Asking
Alrighty. Sorry. I'm trying to hit the. I'm used to hitting my buttons for Twitch. This is not set up for Twitch. All right, stop that. All right, sorry. Let me get my chat back up here and get the microphone back in front of my face. That would probably work better. Duke, Cat, give Fabric. I agree. Filoni. Filoni's like the he's still like the Padawan of George Lucas, which surprised me. I saw a thing where in this show, Hayden Christensen did an interview and they asked him, did he get a note from George or anything? And he said no. I was like, what? Really? That's sad. You would think he would be, I don't know, say something to him. Oh, look, Bumblebee Tuna. Now we have Nata woke up. She came back to hang out on the YouTubes and is meowing as usual. Yeah, Camden walked in. She's been oddly enough staying back at home the last couple of nights, so that's, I guess she's checking on her old man. Excuse me. Yeah, Sean, Kathleen's been this whole, it's just all politics, man. I don't understand. And then you say something about it and you're just labeled something. This whole era has been stupid, and I'm honestly tired of it. But again, if she just stays out of the way, I mean, we get good stuff like Mandalorian and all that stuff. So Ahsoka, I think, will be really good. I'm really looking forward to Ahsoka for sure. You know, this was the biggest thing this episode or this series here. Obviously, I mean, talking about fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. So high expectations, and like I said, that's why I wanted to talk about it tonight, because this episode really is what we probably should have seen in episode like 2 or 3, as they kind of got into it, as opposed to beating around the bush with a whole Leia thing. And then bringing this in at the end, but at least it's here. So, good night, Nata. If you're going to bed at 12:30, you ain't going to sleep. She just don't like Star Wars, y'all. She don't have she ain't never seen a Star Wars movie. Here we go. I'm waiting for she's going to yell at me. But. Anyway, I think that's about it. Let me double check Patreon over here. I don't think anybody responded. I don't think anybody knows it's still there. For all you guys who are actually on Patreon, I've actually posted some stuff there, but I don't see very many responses or likes or anything. So I wonder if people are getting emails anymore or notifications if I post something there. But want to, you know, going forward, I want to rebuild everything if we can. If we, you know, Dragons coming up and these other shows and whatever we enjoy talking about, I want to, you know, rebuild everything, and I need to revamp some stuff and like merch and all that kind of stuff. If anybody's even interested in anymore, maybe not. We got the books on there and stuff like that as well, but there hasn't been any, you know, it's just been dying ever since Game of Thrones ended. And nothing on there, but, yeah, so we'll try to get it back together, and see what happens. Let's see. Sean, I'm hyped for Ahsoka. Hayden's back for it, but Kenobi definitely makes me cautious. Kind of glad that Cal Kestis hasn't had a cameo now. Yeah, but I imagine he's coming in something. I know we're going to see Ezra and stuff like that, and all that good stuff. I'm assuming with Ahsoka's her storyline. But we'll see. We'll see. Nat, I saw the Phantom Menace. That was enough for me. That's the problem, Nat. You need to see the original trilogy. You need to watch A New Hope, and especially Empire Strikes Back, and then you'll naturally want to finish it off with Return of the Jedi. And that's all that really matters. The other stuff, it don't really matter. If you like it, you do. You don't, you don't. But you cannot just watch The Phantom Menace and think that's Star Wars. You got to see the OG stuff. Watch out. That's all capitals there saying this is not Kenobi. The Nightbot will time you out for that. That's just a bot there. But yeah, no. So I mean, I don't know. We're going forward. We'll try to get back going. I'm watching The Boys right now. I'm watching obviously Obi-Wan, which is fixing to be over. Marvel stuff. I have seen the first episode of Miss Marvel. Yeah, that's nothing I really cared about. I never was a fan of any of that stuff and old comics. But it's not horrible. It's more of a kid style show. But the real things, obviously, is House of the Dragon coming, and we have other prequels coming. Hopefully, we'll have them like year after year. We got the full show, so we're coming in. Unlike Game of Thrones, where we came in during season 4 or 5. Well, I can't even remember. What was that? 2016. Jesus, man. We're coming in the very beginning of this show, so I look forward to seeing what happens if we can rebuild the channel, or if I just need to just go off and do something else. Yeah, Nat, I know. Yeah, I'm going to sleep, but I got to remind. I'll tell you what. You watch, Nat. You watch the original trilogy, and I'll watch 3 episodes of Murders in the Building. Deal? Is that a deal, Nat? Huh? Just watch out for all capitals. That's why you're getting timed out by the bot. Nightbot is just timing you out because it's all capitals. There's a rule there for some reason. It's built in. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to, but I've been sitting here for a long time now. Just before we get out of here, just to let you guys know, just not knowing what I want to do or need to be doing on YouTube wise. We're still streaming on Twitch, but I'm really kind of not doing that as much anymore. We usually do that on Mondays and Thursdays, and then like last week I skipped Monday and did it on Tuesday. But I'm not sure. I'm just not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. Am I supposed to be writing another book and all this other stuff? I don't know. Because everything's just backwards for me. Like, typically you do stuff for a longer, and then and then it's supposed to get better. Yeah, it took a while, Randy. I know Randy was on my ass for a couple of years probably about Spider-Verse. But yeah, I mean, so I'm just trying to figure everything out again, man. Jake from State Farm, stop downplaying. I'm not trying to, Jake. I'm just saying it's just the truth. It's just the truth. I'm not trying to be pessimistic at all. But it's just I've seen what happens. Like this live stream, I can guarantee you that since this stream has started, I bet you we probably lost 10, 20 subs, because it's not where House of the Dragon stuff grows it. You know what I mean? So it's weird how these other channels can do every single show and they're blowing up and doing great, but I'm stuck in this like niche, and I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, see, we lost a few, but you know, that's fine. Let's get rid of the people who don't care anymore, or it could be, you know, a lot of other things too. They do delete old accounts and all that kind of shit. So I mean, I'm just saying, I just wanted to be transparent about it. You know, I've been really in a weird place about this whole thing. It used to be, you know, because I can't pay the bills anymore, and that's obviously a problem. And you know, it's never been about that for me, but you know, you got to be realistic about it. I decided to take a risk and jump into this, and everything was growing and doing well, and I could pay my bills and get by with all that stuff, and improve the setups and the streams and computers and studio behind me and all this stuff, and then for it to just to be dead, it's hard, and it's hard to like continue and be motivated and all that stuff. So I'm just being honest about it. Lewis Berry, thank you for the super chat. Speaking of super chats and money, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Hope Vader v. Obi-Wan, Jin, Yoda, Ahsoka, Emperor. So wait a minute. You hope Vader versus Obi-Wan, Jin, Yoda, Ahsoka, Emperor. So wait a minute. Wait. We're going to get another Vader Obi-Wan fight for sure, or some kind of conversation. But what are we saying about Yoda and Ahsoka and the Emperor? I'm not sure. Thank you, Lewis, for the super chat, man. Please clarify just to make sure I'm not. I'm sorry. Just try and think. No. I mean, yeah, I am, Lewis. But it's hard to stay. Like, I get up every day and I'm like wondering, okay, do I, you know, what am I doing a video on? There's no House of the Dragon content. I've already done all the major characters and backstories. There's a whole playlist of House of the Dragon stuff that I've done. And it gets to the point of like, you know, you just get so, honestly heartbroken over the whole situation that it's hard to stay motivated. And then obviously it's hard and people don't know I'm here. I still get that all the time. Like, hey, welcome back. And it's like, yeah, I never left, because they're not getting notified unless it's, you know, Game of Thrones related. And then, you know, people still hate the ending, so they're done with it. And there's just a lot of that stuff too. So it's hard, man. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. And I wrote this book and I'm really proud of it. By the way, if you do like fantasy, it's out. I think it's 70% off on Amazon right now. I think I got the pinned comment. So I really enjoyed that whole process. It cost a lot of money. I lost a lot of money on the book, but it was never about money. It was about kind of seeing how I would feel about, you know, writing a book, man. Because I break down all these other stories, and I think I think I do okay at that. I was like, well, what if I write one? How about I write my own world? Here's that link if anybody can't, because it shows weird. I'll just paste it there. It shows weird for some reason on screen. It shows that big long link, and it's only a short little Amazon link. But yeah, no. So it's hard. It's hard for me to stay motivated because I don't really have content. There's nothing. It's not like House of the Dragon is going to be a lot different because it's not going to be like theories as much as it's just kind of seeing the details of what we don't know from Fire and Blood over here, which is the book it's based off of. So it's kind of hard. It's going to be a lot different in that sense. But I really I miss the fam. I miss the Sunday night live streams. I don't know if James is going to ever come back on a camera again. Honestly, he will certainly watch House of the Dragon, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do Sunday live streams after the show. He said the other night he wasn't, because he's seen obviously the trailer I showed him and stuff, but he said he's not really excited about it like I am, and I don't know. I just don't know any of that stuff, and I know that was a fun time with me and James. It's certainly more entertaining than just me sitting here blabbing by myself. I totally get that. That's why I enjoyed the podcast so much. So there's a lot of stuff we had going that just kind of ended. And it's honestly, you don't think about it, but it kind of fucks you up a little bit, or a lot. And I just want to be transparent about it. So I really get pessimistic and down, and I shouldn't. I know that on YouTube stuff and Twitch dying and the whole thing. And it's just who I am. I'm just gonna say how I feel. I'm not gonna pretend I'm just super happy and come on here like, hey guys, Obi-Wan Kenobi is outstanding. Like, I'm just saying. That's just the reality of it. So it's just I'm trying to stay positive about it and hope that we can get some kind of traction back, and because I have goals, that's what's hard for me is I could walk away right now, just go do something else and whatever, and probably figure out what to do again. But I had this goal after I started playing with YouTube as a hobby of 100,000 subscribers, and I never got there during Game of Thrones, which I think we should have, honestly. I think we had a pretty damn good channel and a lot of fun on live streams, and I don't understand how it didn't happen. And I still have that goal, man. I do. I don't want to just walk away, because I don't quit. I don't quit when I have a goal. I really don't. I said I was going to write a fucking book. I wrote a book. It's out. I don't even have one here. I always have one to hold up on a live stream for people who are coming back or new who don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to keep going, man. It really is. So I understand it. I get it. Game of Thrones ended. People hate it. They don't want to watch anything about it anymore. They're not convinced that House of the Dragon will matter because they know how it ends. And I get all that stuff, but it's just hard. Steph Snow, hello. How are you? Steph Snow, another old school OG coming in at the end here. Jay from State Farm, thank you, man. I appreciate the super chat. I'm proud of you. I really appreciate that, dude. It's the little stuff like that, the little comments here and there, that really keep me going on stuff like this, man. So I really appreciate that, dude. Because that's the great part about YouTube is because you get those comments like, "Hey, man, had a bad day and hung out in a live stream, and this was cool, made me feel better, or saw this video and made me more hyped for this and made my day better." You get all those things too, but not often, and it's hard to fucking do this kind of thing. People don't get it that hadn't done it. Sifu, hello, hi. Just discovered your channel. Recommended YouTube sidebar. Surprise. That is surprising, Sifu. That's what we were talking about because my shit don't get recommended anymore. Wish I'd known about your GOT content at the time. I hope you keep going. Don't let YouTube controllers get you down. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. This is what I mean. I'm never going to be the dude. Y'all old school people know me. I'm not going to come on here and because I know, believe me, I know the last couple of years that my content has probably gotten, I don't want to say worse in the sense of like, the knowledge or information, but, I'm not as hyped about it. I'm certainly not over enthusiastic, but I've also never been that fake guy who pretends to be all hyped up about, that's why I was never good at reaction channels or doing reactions when I tried those, because I mean, some things I really do get hyped about. And you saw that with Game of Thrones when I did some reaction stuff mixed in with the review videos. That was cool. But I'm not that guy who's going to fake everything and pretend to be all hyped up about shit that I'm not, So there's a lot of that too, I guess. But anyway. Yeah, Lord Kev, I'm worried about Lord of the Rings, man. I really think that, we were talking about this earlier with Kenobi, they've pretty much come out and basically said it's not going to be Lord of the Rings. It's going to be named Lord of the Rings, but I'm really worried about it because they basically come out and showed you what it's going to be. That's not Galadriel. That's not Middle-earth. Hobbits are not even here at the time. I mean, there's just so much stuff that's going to be wrong, I think. I mean, I'm going to watch it and check it out, but we'll see what happens because I've really come to love Tolkien, man. I really started getting back into Tolkien, reading some stuff about him and his work, and this all came along when I was writing my book because obviously it's Tolkien-esque with creating a new world, and you guys, you can see the map of my world right up there. That's my world. I mean, that's, you know, that would have never happened. That's, you know, Osgoth there. That don't never happen without Tolkien. You know, any of these books and great things you love, like A Song of Ice and Fire or whatever. Sorry, I'm breaking shit in the middle of a stream. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm just worried about Lord of the Rings for sure. I'm sorry I don't have my lights on, but my lights broke back there too, so I got it all fucked up back here. I got to fix my lights, get some new ones. That's why I don't have the lights on behind me. Anyway. But I appreciate it, guys. I really do. Appreciate you guys hanging out, and hopefully you guys get some still get some fun out of these and the videos. I'm trying, man. I'm trying, but it's Uncle Lent, you should simulcast on Rumble. I've heard of Rumble. I've never had a Rumble account. I don't even know what Rumble is, honestly. So maybe that's something. I actually have played around on TikTok a little bit, but I've really just taken little clips of videos, and you know, there's not much happens on there. I think maybe Big Kev sees it. I think that's about it. Randy, but the combo. Thank you, Voodoo. Thank you. I love y'all. I really do. Randy, you were saying, oh, combo of your knowledge and enthusiasm for the material and style where it got me here. The streams of James were game day. Yeah, they were. It was really like a Super Bowl every week, man. And James was the perfect combo because I'm the kind of nerd guy. He was the new guy who didn't really know, and it worked when we did like the Q&As and stuff. And then he started his own stuff, and that was cool. But Sunday nights were the greatest, man. It was hard to do. You had to believe me. You know, we're sitting there with trying to rush and watch this show, and you're trying to take some notes, and you already have your stuff set up 2 hours beforehand, and there's shit laying everywhere in the living room in the old house. Anyway, I wouldn't change it for the world, though. It was a blast. We got to raise a lot of money for charity, man. It's really cool, the stuff we got to do with those kind of crowds. So hopefully we can get back to something like that, man, because, it was really, really fun. Stressful, fun, but really worth it for sure. Voodoo, yeah, podcast with Doc, Kev, Mazuma. Well, me and Mazuma, by the way, are doing a gaming podcast on my gaming channel on the side. It's just always a side thing I've always had. So we are doing that. It's on Dead by Daylight, what I stream on Twitch, which is the game we play and Nat plays and all that stuff. But so we are doing that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've got to figure out something for the podcast because I started moving all the podcast episodes to its own channel, and then it kind of stopped, and I just hadn't moved anymore because we're not doing any more podcasts, and I can't really. I can continue on my own, I suppose, but I'd much rather have a partner, and it's so much better when somebody's here. I have this studio back here. I mean, this table behind me is for the podcast. I mean, that was what I got it for, and we just didn't get to use it very much. So, Callie, thank you. Callie, welcome back. There's Callie. Hang in there, Chris. I'm trying. No, Steph, no, nothing happened with James. We still are great friends. He still hangs out almost every Saturday. He's over here hanging out. It's just his schedule, and then he's really he's not comfortable on camera in some ways. I think I don't know. And then there's always what are we talking about? So. There's always issues with that too, because we've been there's many a podcast that never happened where I, like, all right, let's record tonight. We record on, I think it used to be Tuesdays, and let's talk about this, and we watched a documentary, for example, and the documentary is like ends up being crap, and it's like, no, we can't talk about that. It's like a 10-minute conversation. So there's been a lot of those too. So don't think I'm blaming James for anything. It's just a thing, man. I mean, he's got to be wanting to do it, and I hope he gets to House of the Dragon and can somehow come over here and watch the show and join us Sunday nights after the show too, man. We'll see, but that's what's That's only he can decide that. Sifu, Rumble and Odyssey are good alt tech platforms. I have to check them out, man. I've heard the names. I just don't know anything about it. What, Jake? What's the coincidence? What did I miss? Oh, wait a minute. We got 2 Jakes. Holy shit. I just now realized. Wait, what's going on? We got 2 Jakes from State Farms. Oh, damn. We got the OG Jake. And now we got the new Jake from State Farm. Wow. That's that's funny as shit. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. I'm sorry, Lewis. Lewis, you're saying my chat is saying Kenobi characters I hope show up. Sorry, Lewis, I may have lost your comment. I don't know what you're asking me. I'm sorry here. Oh, let me find your message. I know I'm trying to find your actual original. Okay, I don't know. I don't know exactly what you're asking there, Lewis. Besides, you're saying Kenobi characters I hope show up here. You're saying in the final episode. If that's what you mean, we don't need any more characters but Qui-Gon. That's all we need. We need Qui-Gon to talk to Obi-Wan, if that's what you're asking. Let's see here. Anyway, no, I will, Steph. I will tell him for sure. Yeah, I just wanted to be just transparent about it. I mean, I hope hopefully we can, because I know he misses this too, for sure. But it is what it is. Ungoliant Rumble is a YouTube alternative for right wingers. What is a right winger? So YouTube is not for everybody. I mean, I know it's not. I know they don't. They can suppress what they want, but yeah, no habla español. For sure. What does that say? For sure. I'm sorry. Oh, you put RPS together. Furcho. Anyway, I will. We'll get out of here. It's almost 1 o'clock, so I appreciate you guys hanging out. I didn't mean to keep you so late. But I just want to talk about Obi-Wan, man. I thought that episode last night was outstanding overall. And I want to talk about it because I love Star Wars. That was my first original love. And wanted to see what you guys thought because, hell, Doc, I remember Doc, week 2, Doc, you were like, have you seen Obi-Wan episode 2 yet? And I was like, no, or was it 2? And then I went and watched, and he's like, yeah, go check it out. Just seeing Vader, it was cool in the Anakin in the back to tank, seeing actually Hayden as Anakin was just cool. But now, he really went ham, as you said. So I was pretty excited about it. Pretty cool. But we'll see what they do. Yeah, be sure to follow me on Twitter and all that good stuff as well. That's where I, tweet out videos, links, and updates on things for the most part. I mean, I have Instagram and Facebook page too and all that stuff. So that's all in any video description. I'll try to start using maybe Twitter more often as well to, maybe live tweet during things, and definitely any announcements regarding whether it's videos or book related stuff or whatever. I'll keep doing. Yeah, Randy. Thank you, man. I'll definitely keep doing Dragon stuff as soon as we get some more stuff to do. I just, like I said, there's a whole playlist there of House of the Dragon stuff, probably like 25 videos, I'd imagine. But there's just like, I've said everything you can possibly say without just straight up telling you what's going to happen or reading the book to you, really. I don't know. Maybe I could read the book. I don't know. But so we're just trying to we're just waiting. I can't just make up content. You know what I mean? That's the problem. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you to Jake from State Farm, the OG Jake. We got 2 Jakes now, but that's cool. Welcome, new Jake, for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. Lewis for the super chat as well. Weaponized Autism for the super chat earlier as well. I think that's all. I believe I didn't miss anything, right? And yeah, as soon as we get something going, maybe I want to get the live streams going again once a week. So I don't know exactly when that will happen. Hopefully, as we build up towards Dragon, we can start doing that again and do them on Sundays and stuff. But maybe until then, when we get like next week, after maybe we'll do another one next Wednesday or something after the finale, if it's worth it. And other stuff that may come out, but we'll see what happens with Lord of the Rings too. That's going to be first, and we'll see if it's worth it, because that just may end up being a bunch of rant stuff that nobody wants to hear. Hot tub streams, Doc. We may have to do it. That's what I'm gonna have to do, man. I guess I'm gonna just break down and do hot tub streams like on Twitch, man. Yeah, so maybe that's what we need to do. But at some point I'm going to do something to continue eating, because this is now over this little I don't know, period of just sitting here while everything's dying. But anyway, thank you guys, appreciate it. Yeah, Voodoo, I know the calendars, but that's really supposed to be Doc and Mazuma, not me. So I mean, that's up to them. That was all a ruse. That was all a ruse, man. But anyway, thank you guys. I support that. I hear my dog squeaking at me to get the hell out of the room. Anyway, I will let you go. Thanks for watching. Go check out more videos if you hadn't already. Go check out the House of Dragon stuff. Let it play. Let's get those suggested and get out there again. See if we can get back to some get our groove back like Obi-Wan. That'd be kind of cool. There's just so many channels out here that are good, that are doing the same stuff. It's hard to compete anymore. But we'll keep going. We'll see what's happening, and then we'll see what happens as we get closer to House of the Dragons. So appreciate it, guys. Good night, everybody. Have a good week, the rest of your week, and we maybe we'll see you on Sunday, perhaps. If not, maybe next week after this finale. So thanks for watching, and we'll